Welcome, fellow Bless Unleashed adventurer here at Mom's Basement. I'm your host, DirtyHotte, once again, and today I'm trying to answer the question all Crusader mains have right now, and that is, which is the best blessing for damage? Is it Gift of Valor or is it Crescent Moon? We're gonna find out during this video right now. Let's go, adventurers! Okay, ladies and gents, adventurers of Bless Unleashed, with the introduction right out of the way, let's come to the real topic here. The testing of Crescent Moon and the Gift of Valor blessing for Crusaders. To make everything crystal clear for you, let's start with the gear I used for that test. So here it is, as you see, nothing too fancy, most of it is still B stuff, some A stuff in between, nothing too crazy. The jewelry is pretty bad, as you can see, but that's not the point why I show that. The important point is it's only gear that doesn't benefit one blessing over the other, so no specific skills get a bonus except for Furious Warcry, which both blessings and builds use. So that should be fine. Now the next step, let's have a look at Death Bolt's overall character stats. So here you can see the attack power 4.5k, 14.56 critical hit rate without buffs, and 145.6% increased critical hit damage. So nothing too fancy here. As I said before, it's not end game, it's not elitist 1% S tier mythic gear. It's a basic casual Crusader with a gear score of 1.1k. That is the basis for our blessing tests here, so that it caters more to the, let's say, average Bless Unleashed Crusader. So with the stat scene, let's have a quick look at the blessings that we are running for both builds. So the Crescent Moon blessing versus the Gift of Valor blessing. And I show that screen so that you see how far I leveled both for that test, because I tried to keep it kind of balanced. So Crescent slash level 9 and Powerful Shout level 9 was important. Also for Gift of Valor, Crescent power level 5, so you get that additional final strike charge. Moonlight Flash also at level 8 right now. Crescent Moon benefits a lot from Moonlight Flash because of the combo damage, but that's the blessing level I used to have it as balanced as possible for, let's say, mid-level players. So for the average Crusader who hasn't all the S tier mythic stuff and maxed out all his blessings. So yes, with both blessings maxed, it might look a little bit different, but this test here is to give you a starting point. Enough talk about the blessings, let's have a look at the skills we are using on both builds. So, to the left you can see the Crescent Moon skills, to the right you can see Gift of Valor skills. Basically, except for Carver Path and Furious Resolute Warcry, we are using the same skills. Different levels of the skills, so Carver Path at level 18 because it's the most important for the Crescent Moon build, because that's basically your damage skill. And for Gift of Valor, Final Strike level 17 plus 1. So the plus 1 level comes from the Gift of Valor blessing and not from gear. That's important to mention. Okay, for Furious Warcry we have plus 1 on both because that's from a gear piece. Yeah, so that are the skills we're gonna run. And if you want to see both builds we are using here more detailed, then check out my build videos for Valor and Moon in the description of this video. So with the gear, the blessing and the skills done, let's have a little talk about the test setup. The way I tested both builds is I used a training dummy at the other traders at the Gnoll Wastes outpost. I guess you all know that place with the 6 or more training dummies. So I used one of those as target. So there was no gear used which would benefit one build over the other. Then how I executed the test is I did 5 1-minute sets of damage with each build without Zealot's Fire, and then I did an additional 3 sets of 1-minute DPS phases with each build, but this time with Zealot's Fire active. Every set was recorded and every recording was loaded into DaVinci Resolve, where I would go through them frame by frame to capture all the damage numbers that occurred. It was important to do that in DaVinci Resolve frame by frame, so I was sure to not miss damage numbers, and also to be sure to not take damage numbers into account that hit the second dummy next to you, because that will happen. You can't avoid that. So with the frame by frame analysis, I'm 99% sure that I only taken into account the damage numbers that really the one dummy I wanted to have the numbers for. Yeah, so after I collected all the numbers, they were fed into an Excel sheet. The damage and DPS for each set was calculated. The averages for the sets with and without solid fires were also calculated, and in the end Mom double-checked everything with pen and paper. And if you want to appreciate Mom's help with this in-depth Crescent Moon and Valor Blessing tests, please leave a like, because that helps the YouTube algorithm, and it helps me because for every like Mom gives Dirty a cookie. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's go on. Now let's have a quick look at the Excel sheet, just a quick overview so you see all the numbers that were fed in there by hand. And if you appreciate that work, once again, please leave a like. Okay, enough with that. Now we talked about the gear, about what we are doing, about the test setup. You had a quick look here at the Excel sheet. Let's talk about the results, the point everybody is waiting for. So here we go, the results of the test. Once again, to the left, you have a Crescent Moon overview. To the right, you have the Gift of Valor overview. So let's start with the tests without Zealot's Fire. You have Crescent Moon. The average of the sets was 886,082 damage, which results in a DPS of 14,768. Now if we compare it to the right, to Gift of Valor without Zealot's Fire, Valor average was 948,375 with a DPS of 15,806. And as you already might see and know, yes, that's higher. By how much exactly? Let's see that here. The DPS was higher on average by plus 7%. Now that was without Zealot's Fire. So let's have a look at the numbers with Zealot's Fire. And before we do that, I did only 3 tests with Zealot's Fire because it was kind of obvious, the result, and it was very time consuming. Very time consuming. Ate my whole weekend and also Mom's Sunday for double checking. But now back to the results. Average with Zealot's Fire. So for Crescent Moon, 1,036,435, which results in a DPS of 17,273, which is, as was to be expected, higher than without Zealot's Fire. Thank God, otherwise that class skill might be totally useless. So we confirmed it is useful. So let's have a look at Gift of Valor again on the right side with Zealot's Fire. That's a 1,082,834 damage, which results in a DPS of 18,047, which is again higher, but Crescent Moon is a bit closer here, so it's only a plus 4.5% with Zealot's Fire. Now another interesting point, result, whatever, I don't want to hide. The best overall with Zealot's Fire active of all sets was 1,226,563 damage. And that was with Crescent Moon. Yeah, so as you can see, the first of the findings is already that they are pretty close, okay? They are pretty close together. We can already say that. But with all those numbers down, let's go to the next slide and let me share you all the findings and my opinion on those findings. And that's why it says opinion over here, okay? Because it's my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and if you have a different opinion and different ideas, different findings, please share them in the comments below. And if you want to discuss stuff like that live with me, kind of face to face, stop by at Twitch, where I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. Links in the description. Okay, so findings and opinion. Crescent Moon and Gift of Valor are very close together. We can already say that. In that, let's say, very neutral testing environment with 100% uptime on a dummy, they are very close together, okay? Another finding is, some of you might know, some of you might not know. There is a bug that is already confirmed, that Final Strike, when it's buffed with your shout, so it should be fully charged, the last hit didn't register. And that definitely happened during the test phase as well, and it happened more often than I would have expected it to happen. So at least 20% of the time, the last hit of a fully charged Final Strike didn't register. Okay, that might be a huge impact, because as you might know, the last hit of a fully charged Final Strike is by far the biggest one. Damage-wise. We have to keep that in mind, but still, Valor was a bit ahead. Now, I showed you how far I leveled the blessings, which brings us to the next point. A fully upgraded Crescent Moon blessing might overtake Valor because of the higher combo damage, okay? I think my bonus was now at 53% or something, and if you max it, it's 100%? I think so. For your regular combo damage, okay? But but let's talk about the next point. But only with very high uptime on bosses or on the mob, because you need those combos to reset your cover path, okay, your damage skill, and to benefit from the higher combo damage, obviously. That's not the case for Gift of Valor. So let's go to the next point. Gift of Valor offers a higher on-demand burst. So I personal playstyle and opinion, I kind of prefer that with the Bless Unleashed bosses I did so far. Because with the mechanics, it doesn't hurt my overall damage. Let's say if I avoid the mechanic, go back in, and then start my rotation again. That's at least how I feel. On the other hand, Crescent Moon feels more consistent, okay? There are not those crazy high peaks. It's more consistent overall, which might be more to your liking or beneficial for other boss mechanics. So what I say in addition, next point, Crescent Moon is a little bit harder to use. It needs a bit more boss mechanic knowledge, because Cover Path, your main damage skill, its animation is pretty long and you're locked in that animation. It's nothing too crazy, okay? You can work with that. You just need a little more knowledge, but that's fine, okay? That's fine. Overall finding and opinion. So my overall opinion on both builds of those, if you are Crusader, both of them are solid choices. With Valor, maybe more mobile as soon as the final strike shout bug is fixed, then it might be a little bit ahead. On the other hand, there are also plans to give counter attack, which we didn't use in this build, a bigger window of opportunity, so to speak. So that might be then better for bosses or mobs that hit you, okay, and that you can counter attack. Then it might be a different story, but it might be very niche. Also, news about the future. The Wolf Blessing might get a buff, so that might be viable as well as a damage blessing, okay? So those have been my findings for both Crusader builds that are pretty common right now. You can find my suggestions for both of those blessings in the description, and also here at the end screen. My Valor Crusader build and my Crescent Moon build, which isn't my build, but it's composed out of YouTube comments, Reddit discussions. I just put together the cheat sheet to make it more visual appealing and easier to work with for you, the casual gamer, the casual adventurer of Bless Unleashed. And if you appreciate all this, leave a like, comment below, and hit the bell for more Bless Unleashed and other game builds in the future. Follow me on Twitter if you want up-to-date news about what I'm up to. And feel very welcomed at my Twitch stream, where I stream twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, in the evenings my time. So feel free, stop by there, say hello, and let's get a discussion going on builds and games. So that's it from me so far for today. All I gotta say now is DirtyHotte out.